Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello. Happy Friday.
Post-Thanksgiving.
Post-Thanksgiving. Who else is slogging around in the tryptophan coma like I am?
And larger stomachs than normal.
You guys, hi. Hope you had a beautiful Thanksgiving.
We hope so.
We hope so. We are going to talk about, of course, a very big topic today because
Who are we, though?
I know
Should we start over?
No, we're not starting over. Okay, who are we? For those of you who are new, many of you, I'm sorry and apologize if you've heard this 1,000 times, but some of you may be new, and we are Doug and Leslie Gustafson, and we are licensed marriage and family therapists. I'm a sex therapist. Doug is a certified personal development and leadership coach with the John Maxwell team, and we are coaches ready and motivated to help motivated couples who want to capture the love, passion, and powerful marriages that they long for, what we consider dream marriages.
That may have slipped through their fingers.
And might have slipped through their fingers. They might have had it once early on in their relationship. They might not have a clue about what a dream marriage might look like, but it is typified by what we call I'm telling you, post-Thanksgiving, you guys. But it is typified by amazing intimacy. I think the problem was using the word typified ever. Yeah. But it is typified by amazing intimacy. And we have historically, if you known us, done a lot around amazing intimacy. We wrote a book about it. We did a show about it. But today we're going to dig in and talk about what the heck amazing intimacy really is and what it is not. Hey, David Avrin, our neighbor from across the way, jumping on in. Good to see you, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving, David.
Happy Thanksgiving, David. And if you have questions along the way, I will try to keep a track of the chat so I can address those. May wait till the end of the time that we're talking to address those questions, but we're going to just jump right in because we have pretty big content and a special announcement at the end of the time. So hang in there. We're not going to keep you forever here, but please, please listen to the tail end of our message today. So what is amazing intimacy not, love?
Well, not only what it's not, but before we get to that, amazing intimacy is a word we use a lot. So intimacy.
Oh, look, it's the neighbor time.
Should have just come down.
The neighbor's in the house.
Had some coffee with it. So everybody has a different definition of intimacy. We hear it all the time now. We hear the word connection. We hear the word bonding. We hear the word intimacy so frequently now. And so people have different definitions. Sometimes when people use the word intimacy, they mean sex. Sometimes they mean closeness. Sometimes they mean affection. Sometimes they mean, hey, we're getting along pretty well. It must be intimate.
Yes.
So we're going to hopefully add some and shed some light on what we think it is, and so that when we use it, you'll even have a better idea of where we're coming from, because we use it all the time, and it's in the title of our book even. Yeah,
and we say it like it, and even for us, it was a good kind of review to go, hey, we need to communicate and define it for people, because we say it like it's just, over the dinner table, and we all know what that means.
Right. So we have a couple lists we're going to go through that kind of help explain it. I'm going to start with what it is not.
Yes.
So amazing intimacy isn't just having sex. If it was, then a one-night stand could be called an intimate connection.
I feel like I heard a lot of men in the room going, wah, wah.
Okay. Why? Don't pick on men.
Well, because it is part of intimacy.
Man, we know it is.
We know it is. Right. It is part of intimacy, but I think so often we think of it as just having sex. Right. If you just had sex, you can have sex in a completely non-intimate way for sure.
Another thing that
apparently Doug was going to do that list, but
yeah, you just jumped in.
Right in.
So as usual. So another thing that we don't think amazing intimacy is, we don't think it's a set of intermittent behaviors that just pop up once in a while for whatever reason, here and there. Maybe I'll give you a hug. Maybe I did last week. It's not intermittent behaviors. So it's not an occasional hug. It's not an occasional kiss. It's not an occasional I love you, even though those things might be an element of it in the bigger picture. It is not giving up your self-identity for another person.
Right.
Some people think that's intimacy. If I just am a codependent person and I wait on you.
I surrender myself and I totally give to you and I serve to you and I don't know who I am anymore, but it feels intimate to me because I'm doing all of these things for you, even though the self is being lost.
And it's also, there's kind of double negatives here, but it's also not never having conflict.
Right.
So conflict is a normal part of couples if handled well. Keeps things clear, keeps intimacy possible.
Yeah, and you've probably heard me talk before. The couple doesn't have conflict, often doesn't have passion. So it is important that conflict is happening, because when you have two individuals with their opinions, you're going to have conflict, differences of opinion, and there is life and passion in that. we worry more about the couple who never gets in there with each other and it's conflict free. We've even heard couples say, we've never had a fight. And I'd be like, well, you need to, because that's kind of where the grist gets going and you start to find out who each of you are if you aren't already.
So what is it?
Well, amazing intimacy is big and large, and we're going to go through quite a lot of different definitions around it. But first and foremost, amazing intimacy is about two people who are fully themselves. They are authentic. They know their feelings. They know their thoughts, and they know how to be transparent and vulnerable with them, with their partner. And, you know, the reverse. Both are able to do that. One can do it, the other doesn't. You're not going to be able to enter into that connected, amazing space of two people showing up in their wholeness as they are authentically, in all of the freedom in that.
We sometimes ask couples, and people in the couples, obviously, how present are you? How available are you? How transparent are you in and of yourself? And it's really important to know how you show up, whether it's in marriage or leadership or any part, parenting, any part of your life, but particularly in creating intimacy. We all show up in a different way.
Hey,
and some don't really show up. Some don't show up so well. The first kind of, I want to go back to the first one because
I jumped ahead.
You jumped ahead.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard there.
Yeah.
So I think first and foremost, amazing intimacy is an attitude or a mindset. So that it's a belief that you can really have an incredible marriage. It's a mindset that says we can have more, we can dream, we can use our imagination, we can create this. And I think that's an attitude and a mindset.
It is.
And if you don't develop that kind of what I would call a transformational mindset, then transformational things don't happen. It starts with an attitude. It starts in your mind. It starts with a belief system.
Beth says she's going to fight with Mike tonight. Good for you. Get that passion going, Beth.
We'll just come up and help.
We'll just come up and help you fight. And I completely digressed.
You sure did.
Right. And here's another component of amazing intimacy that we don't often talk about, but it's not just about a coupling. Okay, amazing intimacy starts with ourselves and being a connected human being. We can have amazing intimacy with ourselves because we are emotionally connected to ourselves. We know who we are. So it starts there too. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a coupling. Again, we're back to the, are you centered and present, and are you showing up? And do you have an intimate knowing of yourself? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're about?
Intimacy can be looked at as kind of a barometer too. How much joy is in your relationship? How much compassion? What kind of energy do two people share together?
Yes.
Because amazing intimacy is alive and thriving, and it has a dimension of, it has a voltage connected to it, or a barometer of some kind.
And you've probably seen couples who have amazing intimacy, and I'm going to shout out David and Laurel right here, because they do, and you know it when you're in the presence of them, because they are alive, they're connected, you feel the energy between the two of them, and you can be in the presence of it and know something's going on between a couple, that they've got their own thing going on, and that's amazing intimacy. But let's talk about what it looks like in the bedroom. Okay, it isn't just going in and having sex with two disconnected people, right? Like we talked about before. Amazing intimacy in the bedroom has the whole package. You can show up together, fully alive, fully yourself, two people who are interesting sexually and sexually competent and capable and confident, and they like sex. Two people who like sex. What amazing, right? But then they can go in there, be fully themselves and explore, connect emotionally, connect sexually, try new things, and they consistently have good or great or even amazing sex, and they want to go back for more.
And once you have that, you can also have drive-through sex, which is
Taco Bell sex.
Taco Bell, like it doesn't always, not always a Thanksgiving meal,
right?
But because you have that and you're able to connect at that intimate level, then
Right.
possible.
People ask about quickies. They're like, are quickies okay? If it's okay for the two of you, but don't make a meal of it all of the time, right? Sometimes you need to have a little more time, but you can have a little snack. Yeah.
So,
hi, Jordan. Thanks for jumping in.
One of my favorite ideas around anything in life that's good and worthwhile and thriving, and certainly part of an amazing intimate connection, is that it's based on intentionality. You have to choose it. You have to go for it. You have to be something in two people that really pursue that.
Right.
And so they bring that.
It doesn't just happen.
We
say that all the time.
It doesn't just happen.
We make it happen.
Nothing good doesn't just happen.
That's right. Almost everything that's truly worthwhile is uphill. And that's so true, is in creating a love life that's stimulating and amazing and connected and passionate. Was that where you were going with it?
Yep, that's where I was going. It involves a willingness to be consistently vulnerable and open with one another.
Day after day after day.
Somebody used this definition once and it kind of stuck with me, that if you break down the word intimacy, it means into me see.
And you've probably heard that. If you haven't, you've got to hear that. That's just like the mainstay. Into me see. So when our partner can be connected to us and there's a knowing between each other, and you look at each other and you're actually seeing even, the inner workings or the soul of another, which is found through their eyes and their facial expressions, that is vulnerability. That is vulnerability. Not when you're just happy, but also when you're really hurting, that you can come before your partner and go, this is me. This is me. This is where I'm at. And they can see you and hold that and be comfortable with that.
That
and
feels good. And
towards it, back and forth. There's mutuality in that.
So a couple more. It's based on ongoing empathy.
Yes.
We hear that word a lot. A lot of people are tuned in this day and age to the word narcissism, which is somebody, if you're completely at that end of the spectrum, has really no room for empathy. We actually believe that listening is more important than talking, and really being interested in someone is a way to treat them special. It's a way to say, I value you, I love you, and I want you in my life. So how we hear, how we listen, and our willingness to do that. And then lastly, I would just add. Can
I just add a little something on the empathy? Because sometimes people get like, what is empathy? And I think of it in a couple different ways, and I think it might be helpful and educational for you. There are people who you hear of them, they're empaths, right? So they have this sort of natural sense of being able to feel what is happening in the room and in the people around them. So they can naturally empathize with them. They feel what they're feeling. Sometimes people get really stuck on that because they don't do that, or they don't have that kind of intuitive sort of sense. But we really can take ourselves out of our position in a mindset way, intellectually, and say, what would I feel like if I was walking in the shoes of that person going through that now?
Called perspective taking.
Yes,
sometimes.
Perspective taking, which may be a little bit more intellectual, but it's still a way to practice and cultivate empathy, and it's still legit. I think sometimes we think if you don't have that big feeling component, that it's not legit. But I think you were going to read a little something.
A little summary.
And then I have a special exciting announcement.
So
we're not pregnant.
No. Jeez. And neither is our unmarried son. So all that's important. You threw me off there. I didn't even say that. So ultimately, true intimacy that fires on all cylinders, represents the closeness of two lovers, that addresses the inherent need for passion in life, for romance, for feeling loved and cared for seeing that you're special in the eyes of another.
Yes.
It is the pursuit of a marriage that is defined by such deep feelings of attachment for one another that your dream for more is eclipsed by what you already have. You may no longer want more. You simply want to protect what you have at all costs.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so if you've been paying attention in the tribe, we started doing Facebook Lives. I think this is maybe our third or fourth consistent Facebook Live in the last month or so. In that first Facebook Live, we talked to you about our life-changing webinar. Some of you watched it, some of you haven't. It is in the announcement section. You are free to go watch that. In the next couple of Facebook Lives we had, we were offering up, and we continue to offer up, free breakthrough sessions. And on these sessions, we give you 45 minutes to an hour and a half of time, just digging in around your unique issues as a couple, unearthing the core things that may need changing, and talking to you about what you want, talking to you about your dream marriage. And then we invite you in to being able to help you if we can, or we've been giving away resources and direction that's appropriate to you. So those things have been already happening. If you don't know they've been happening, then, reach out to me and I'll let you know. But it's all kind of available to you in the tribe in the announcements section. So what's that all about? If you've also noticed, we have grown up to 1,400 members strong here. And we have a very active community, a lot of hurting marriages, a lot of struggling marriages. Sometimes I've heard it's hard for people to come into the tribe because it's kind of sad, and it is. Then there are those of you who are trying to enhance your marriages and doing fun things like hanging mistletoe and having a good time. And you're jumping off of this idea that you can have a dream marriage. But why are we doing all of this? Well, here's the bottom line. We're finally going to announce it to you in January. We are going to move into our next session of our massive marriage transformation program. That's right, massive marriage transformation program, MMTP. This is not a counseling program. It isn't.
It's a transformation program.
It's a transformation program. What we've come up with is an 8-step plan from beginning to end that takes you from where you're at to what we just described and more. Unique to you. So your unique, amazing intimacy is the end outcome, your dream marriage. And it doesn't just limp along. This is quick, it's transformational, because we've discovered the exact way to get you there. Formula. Over 70 years. We finally got to it. And what accompanies that is performance mindset. So once you get transformed, we don't just leave you there. We actually leave you with the skills and strategies to maintain that transformed marriage. And you get world-class support, because Doug and I are going to be personally drawing alongside each of you as a couple, as man and woman. You're going to each get your own time and connection in personal coaching. So it's a whole package deal. And we are trying, by enlarging this group, to rise up couples who are ready. Not every couple is ready. This program isn't for everybody. We know that, but it is for those couples who are either sick and tired, or just want more, or have a decent marriage, but they've never really captured all the goodies that marriage can bring: the great sexuality, the deep connection, the fun, the play, the passion, this lackluster marriage that they're tired of being in. You may really be in a hurting marriage, and you are welcome too. But here's the catch. You got to be coachable. You got to be resourceful, and you got to be decisive. More importantly, you got to be ready and really wanting it. And that's what the webinar's been really about. And that's what the breakthrough sessions are all about. If you've not watched the webinar, I will put the link here for you to do that if you want more information. If you're ready to go, yes, we want our breakthrough call, then I will put that link in the comments as well. And you can just hop on a call and see if you're a right fit for the program. We understand not everyone would be, and that's a mutual decision and a collaborative thing that happens on a breakthrough call. But guys, this is our time. This is your time to help you finally get where you want to go. And it's all getting going again in January, mid-January. So we're hoping that we rise you up. Those of you who are waffling around about it, stop waffling. Those of you who are like, what is this all about? I need to find out more information. Get more information. That's what we're here for. But if you're already ready to hop on a call with us, we've got our schedule opened up just for that to happen. It's an enriching time. It's a personal time. We dig deep, but we get to know you and what it is you're needing to finally get where you want to go and get the love and passion of powerful marriages.
We want you to have what we have. And
we want, without saying that in any kind of egocentric way, we know what it is to live in a dream marriage, into a life of amazing intimacy. We know the incredible impact that can have not only on you as a couple, but you individually. It also affects your performance, your productivity, your well-being. You can find, once you're in a dream marriage, how much more you individually start to rise up, because the quality of our relationships dictates everything. Crappy relationships, crappy life. Enhanced relationships, enhanced lives, and you see it beyond your marriage. Some of you know me, you know I'm flying, right? And so is Doug, but that's because of what we have here foundationally that I get to jump off of. So if it's your time, and we hope it is, either watch the webinar, which is in the announcement section, and I'll put a link here too, or jump on a breakthrough call with us. And, you know, as soon as possible, there's times available already.
Can I end with a quote?
You can, but are there any questions? Let's see. Do you have any questions, guys, coming through? I'm just learning how to manage the chat on Facebook. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle McCall. Nice to see you here. Hey, Joanne. Good to see you.
Good question, though.
Why is it so hard to be empathetic to your husband when you find it easy to be empathetic to others? What do you think about that?
Well, partly the stakes are much higher. There's more going on with a spouse than by far than, not that friendships are unimportant and not meaningful at a certain level and a rich level, but there's a lot more going on, and there's a lot more hoped for in your relationship with your spouse. You hope for love. You hope for being treated as special. You hope for being vulnerable and having that be safe. You hope for so much more. And if that gets eclipsed over time or hindered or whatever, then it gets harder and harder to want to open up, because that person that you want so much from, you just don't seem to be able to get it from them.
Right. And to empathize with another really means to be feeling alongside of them, understanding them, loving on them. It's quite a gift. But if it's not reciprocated, then you're going to end up with built up resentment, and or you're going to want to pull away because it's like, I'm the only one who's doing it. And that isn't okay. It's a beautiful gift to empathize with another. But if you do it all of the time, you can start to feel like, wait a minute, I'm giving too much and I'm vulnerable here, and no one else is doing it either. And so that self-protective mechanism kicks in, because you're like, this isn't feeling safe now. Because safety is found in mutuality and mutual honesty and mutual empathy and reciprocity, the give and the take, not just the give till you're all tapped out and mad.
Good to see you too, Joanne.
Good to see
you,
Joanne.
Went down there, but so hopefully that helps, Michelle.
Hopefully that helps. And did you have a quote did you do your quote?
Yeah, there's a John Maxwell quote that I love. Yeah, I don't know how exactly it goes, but it's mostly like this, that nobody cares how much you know unless they know how much you care. And our hearts, I always want you to hear that you're our tribe. We want you to hear that we care, that we want great things for you in marriage and in life, and that motivates us to do everything we say and everything we do.
And if you're sitting there thinking, you know, I'm really ready, but my partner isn't, or you're thinking, you know, I just need my own self-esteem, I'm not even sure. In fact, Tamara pointed it out last week to me. She goes, you know, I think a lot of people don't think they deserve to be happy. And I think there's some truth to that. But we will address that, because we're going to address your own individual empowerment in this 8-step program. It's not all just about you as a couple. It's about that esteem underneath as well, because that's so important. But I think that's everything. I don't see any other questions. Hey, Amber, thanks for jumping in.
Thank you, Michelle.
Appreciate it. So there you go, guys. Friday's Facebook Live. What is this amazing intimacy thing anyway? Hope you get a little beat on it. If you have any questions, you're welcome to put them in the comments after. If you're watching the replay, same. And I will put those important links to you. Let this next year please be your year for your marriage and your enhanced empowered life. We love you guys. Signing off.